Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt from MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Today is Monday, September 26th. All right. I hope everybody had a wonderful day in the market today. I do want to take a look at a couple of stocks here today. One is going to be the SPY. All right. On Friday, anybody who follows me on WhatsApp, we did VIX, UVXY, SPY, and Goldman Sachs. Um, so we know VIX and UVXY were up, SPY was down, GS was down. So let's take a look at these though, and see what we're doing here real quick. All right, so we had this nice support here. We had this beautiful dump, of course, and then we had all these bottoms right here, accumulation. Still trying to hold it. Definitely still trying to hold it. Nothing's broken yet. We're definitely in consolidation at this point. We had a big move here, which really paid off well. We did not get this gap yet at the 218 in that area. I have the exact numbers in a lower time frame. We'll throw that over there. But we did not get this gap yet, and we had 1, 2, 3 solid days to the upside, 1, 2, 3 solid days to the downside. We had this candle, and this candle coming in as support today. So our Friday options rock and roll today. They were I called an exit first thing this morning, and then proceeded to get the next round of positions for these moves. Of course, we have the debate tonight, and for me, it really doesn't play a role, but for the market makers or whoever's doing the market, it does. But for now, what I'm seeing is triple bottom support here on this trend line, still heading to the upside. This support came in hard anytime selling came down to it today. They kept bouncing it, and you can see that in lower time frames, which I'll zip into in a little bit. But you can see it definitely held it. So tomorrow's going to be, interesting to see what happens. We're rounding up to the upside here. We cracked a little bit, but nothing spectacular on our Mac. But you can see here a slow stow is kind of hanging at the bottom here. It can push a little bit lower, that's for sure, as you can see here. But if this trend line breaks, we're definitely going to come down to the 212.53 area to test that support also. But if not, we could, if everything goes well, because we had our 3 days, we got the 3 day rule, we should get a nice little bounce. And where can we bounce to, you ask? I know you were thinking it. Well, if we're going to bounce, where do we bounce? As you can see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty much 6 tags of this line today and pretty aggressive holding. So any upside targets basically are pretty obvious right here. When they're leaving these gaps like it's no tomorrow. Yes, I'm a gap player. I started this a couple years ago, and everybody is now chasing gaps because gaps work, and it's blinking right now because we're in lower time frames, and for some reason the system, because it's live after hours, so the system is kind of goofy that way. But anyway, this was probably the close candle right here. No, 3, 4 o'clock. That'd be that one right there. And then the next 2 hours was still just hugging this line. No big deal. RSI on the hourly is up at around 36 right now, just chilling. You can see our slow stow's getting ready to roll up. You can see our MACD is starting to turn beautifully to the upside. So potentially, I say we can go to the upside here. But who knows? But I alerted my alerts, and it is what it is. So looking at the Bollinger Band structure also, it looks like by the time we start moving to the upside, a main target's going to be 217.15 before we possibly could get a spike up to the 218, but we're going to have to see it go take it baby steps here. We got 215.98 first in the way, so we'll have to see what happens with that. As long as our support holds, those are my plans right now for SPY, but we'll have to see what happens. So, taking a look at VIX real quick, let's go back to the daily. We'll just keep it on the daily for now. We'll look at the VIX. The VIX was a beautiful bounce here. We played the calls, rocketed to the upside. Hit the EMA 8, could not get over that on the daily. So you know what happens when you don't break an EMA 8, right? You can kind of see what's shaking here, and you can see what's shaking here. But it is what it is. But had a beautiful spike to the upside. It was very oversold. They had 2 days of collecting here, and we did surpass this gap this morning. This thing ran up $2 for the day. We do have a trend line in place on the daily right about here. So anything happens tomorrow, we'll have to see what happens. But you can see you're starting to curl to the upside, your slow stow, and you're starting to curl here. But is it enough to push it higher? We'll have to see how the market reacts tomorrow. If we take a look at the hourly on this real quick, all right, the hourly is that's actually, I don't know what time is that. That's 10. Okay. So it pretty much didn't do anything after it opened up today. It just channeled all the way across. And you can see your stow is at the max over here, and your relative strength index is at 55. So we'll have to see what happens, and hopefully we'll get that nice little move to the downside. Slow stow is still heading down like this. Like I said, that's after hours. And we'll go back to the daily here real quick. And Goldman Sachs, those things happen. You can't beat it. I called the puts on Friday. Here's Friday, right at the EMA middle Bollinger Band break. You know how those puts did today when this thing is down $7 in the first couple of days. Our target's coming in pretty quickly here. You got one right here. It's a gap. It's going to be 154. I get a gap at 157. That's going to be my first target, and that's going to be right here, 158. So those paid multiple hundreds of percents, just like the other ones, 100% plus. So make sure you watch where these supports are coming in and see what happens. I mean, we're really outside the Bollinger Band here, so I'm looking for a small bounce at some point, and I'm notifying you my first point is going to be the 158.58. Unless they bounce it tomorrow and move it up, we'll have to see what happens. All right, this is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Stay tuned because more videos will be coming this week. If you'd like to join up and follow my trades on get the alerts on WhatsApp, you're more than welcome to. Just click on the video if you don't want to. Then, hey, keep watching the videos. We do some pretty good market commentary. Have yourself a fantastic afternoon, and we will see you tomorrow night.